Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Nation. I'm your man, Ron Levin. Tonight, we got a special show for you. For those of you who've been asking, where has the general been? When is he coming back from special assignment? The general is back with us tonight, but I'll tell you this. The general has just finished up another special assignment. And Greg, we're not going to let anybody know what that is.
Nah, man, can't let it out the bag just yet, man. Can't let it out the bag just yet.
Glad to have you back, brother. Hey, and then we got a little Bob Marley with us tonight.
Yeah, I've been married to my wife now 24 years, and she say I still sound like a broke African. I don't sound like I'm a Jamaican.
Hey man, we got a lot going on. Hey, General, kind of spice it up, let everybody know who they're talking to, but also, Greg, you've been on I call it special assignment, but man, you've been doing your thing, man. And for those of you who have not experienced Attorney Jackson's expertise, man, he's been knocking them out the park.
His legal prowess.
Yeah, there you go. General.
Yes, sir. So listen, man, once again, it's on, man. It's been a while since I've been on the show and I've been missing it. Part of it, though, I was in trial, as you all know. The other part, which y'all didn't know, which I am releasing tonight, is I actually twisted my ankle and couldn't walk. So listen, hey, listen, man, I never knew that a grade 2 sprain of an ankle was such a bad thing. And when I see these football players who sprain their ankle and they're back out on the field the next week, man, I got a whole new respect for those cats right now, man. So,
hey, General, I gotta ask you the question though. When somebody said they sprained their ankle, I played college ball.
mm-hmm.
One of my teammates went around during the season back in the day we were playing, and he told everybody he sprained his ankle, and everybody just assumed he did it at practice.
Right.
He actually tripped on his own foot. So what happened to you, brother?
Listen, man, I wish I could make it sexy. But I can't do it. I was walking, and there was a piece of uneven concrete, and I just rolled my ankle. I heard it pop.
Wow.
Like 3 seconds later, I started swelling, man, and I was like, man, this can't be good. And everybody tried to get me to go to the doctor, but y'all know I'm from Tallahassee. We don't go to doctors unless we have to. And so I've been nursing this thing and hobbling around and icing it and compression and all of that other stuff.
You ain't take no Robitussin?
Robitussin? Heck, no, I ain't take no Robitussin.
They give you Robitussin for everything.
Hey, Doc,
hey, listen, I did take some Advil.
They give you Robitussin, huh?
One of those home remedies, man, soaking in some Epsom salt and ice.
Hey,
yeah, listen, man.
I'm going to tell y'all a true story. You know, Doc got a million stories. When I was 12, my stepdad had a welding shop at our house, right on the side of the house. And he was welding this. He used to make the wrought iron doors. And remember when everybody had the bars and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
So I was out in the yard, and he was cutting a 55-gallon drum with a sailing torch. And he didn't clean it out good enough. And the thing took off and shot from under the shed and came right toward me. And I ran. And in me running, I cut my foot open all the way down the side. I mean, deep on a piece of angle iron. Guess how they patched it up? What they did?
I'm scared to ask.
Miss Thelma came over because there's blood everywhere. And she had all the kids running around the houses and stuff on our street and get cobwebs. And they bundled it up and put it in there in that wound, and it stopped the bleeding.
Cobwebs?
Cobwebs.
That's an old.
And that's when we got to the hospital, people were like, what the hell is this? But it worked. It stopped the bleeding. Not absorbed it. It stopped it from bleeding. I don't know how.
Man, what I'm trying to figure out how y'all had that many spiders around y'all house so y'all get that many cobwebs.
We stayed out there where Ivy Lane was country. You didn't know that.
Nah.
Yeah, you used to have row houses and all them old sheds and all that stuff. So all you had to do was go around with it was lots of woods back there. It's not like it is now. Trust me.
Uh-huh.
So they, they got all that and balled them up with. I said on the whole street. It took the ambulance. It took the ambulance 20 minutes to get out there.
Hey, well,
So
tell
I
you
don't
what.
know about that one, man.
Hey, General, let everybody know who they're listening to.
Listen, man, for those who do not know, they are tuned in to two of the most influential voices in Central Florida on a Monday night podcast, Brother Love and Greg Jackson. And we got none other than Doc Polite, his Rastafarian hot on. If you want to be a part of the night show, all you got to do is use your Twitter fingers and hit those little letters on your tile. And all you got to do is also hit 407-921-6195 to talk to two of the most influential voices in Central Florida on the Monday night podcast, Brother Love and Greg Jackson. Brother Love, yo, let's get it on.
Hey, well, tell you what. While we're going to jump out the gate and get it on, hey, General, there was something that took place that put a well-known rapper in a category out of this stratosphere. Who was that?
Yeah. I mean, so, in watching the Grammys the other night, Kendrick Lamar, who actually headlined the Super Bowl show last year, actually won a number of Grammys. And so this year made him the highest award-winning rapper of all times, snatching 27 Grammy Awards, is my understanding of it. And so it begged the question, Doc Polite and Brother Love, it begged the question of this, because everyone is talking about Kendrick Lamar as a part of a movement, a part of a moment, socially conscious and all the other stuff. But it made me ask the question, in the past 3 decades, who have been some of the most socially conscious rappers that we know of? And I have 2 right off the bat. I want to see if y'all can think of the 2 that I thought about. And when I thought about it, think about this. When I thought about it, the other question was, how many Grammys do they have?
Okay, since I'm the old hip hop head, the original hip hop head, Chuck D.
All right, give me another one.
Chuck D. I would throw out
from Public Enemy, KRS-One.
All right, KRS-One. Give me another
one. Poor Righteous Teachers.
Hey, Tupac.
Poor Righteous Teachers.
All right. Tupac. Tribe Called Quest.
All right. Now, socially conscious. I'm trying to think. Tribe. Yeah, they ran with the Jungle Brothers and those guys. So yeah, maybe so.
X-Clan.
Well, hold on. Okay. But Doc, you throwing them out there.
Wu-Tang.
Doc, you throwing them out there. But Greg, when you say socially conscious, respond to Tupac being socially conscious.
Yeah, Pac was socially conscious. Yeah, he brought a message. He
did, but in a different. He was more of a radical. The other was more of an educational, especially KRS.
All right, so let me hit y'all with this. Now, Doc, you hit the nail on the head with the first one when you said Chuck D, and I said Public Enemy. Yeah. Public Enemy was one of the most socially conscious and influential rap groups in the past 30 years. If you think about the music that they put out, what was it? Fight the Power, and all of the other songs they came out with, and they also were instrumental in. And what was the other one? What was the one that they did? Self-Destruction. They were instrumental in helping do the self-destruction part.
Yeah.
The other rapper. Now, when I say it, y'all gonna be like, "Golly, how we missed this guy?" Ice Cube.
Oh
yeah.
And I'm talking about Ice Cube starting with the NWA days to the days when he started his own, when he went in and went solo. And when I looked, I was shocked with as much as Public Enemy has done for the social consciousness of this country.
Mm-hmm.
Public Enemy has 0 Grammy Awards.
None?
Ice Cube, 0. Ice Cube has 0 Grammy Awards. 0. If you think about when NWA was out and the fact that the FBI actually wanted to stop them from using the rap lyrics that they were using and different things like that, and 2 Live Crew is another one too. 2 Live Crew was instrumental actually.
Matter of fact, Uncle Luke is the founder of free speech in rap.
And people don't know that. People don't know. People don't believe that right there, right here in the state of Florida. The reason why people like Marilyn Manson and I mean, you name them across the board, from rock and roll to heavy metal and all of this other stuff, the reason that they can say the things that they say is because of the fight that 2 Live Crew took up, and also because of the brazenness of NWA under the penmanship. Because everybody say, even Eazy-E said, Ice Cube writes the rhymes that I say. he was the one that wrote that album that was so socially conscious that brought people's attention to what was taking place in the West Coast on the streets of Los Angeles, man.
Okay, General Doc. Since you brought it up, let's raise some IQs a little bit. When you talk about rappers who have Grammys, you got Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You have Kanye West. You got Kendrick Lamar, who we're talking about. Eminem, who you talked about. Pharrell Williams. But can you consider Pharrell a rapper?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
a producer. He's put together some tunes.
The Neptunes. They did. He's got tracks out with him singing. Frontin' is one of them.
And they have Lauryn Hill in the category of rappers with Grammys. You got Andre 3000. I mean, that's Dr. Dre with 7 awards.
Oh yeah, You can't forget Dre. Yeah, Outkast. But listen, Outkast had album of the year in 2004 when they did that split album, Speaker Box and Love Below.
Yeah.
Hey, but here's and this closes out the last 3. Of course, Drake was gonna be in that category. And then you also have Lil Wayne. But who do you think the last person in that category is? And this person, he go a teaser for you. When this person got it, I think they also got arrested too. And released. Out of Atlanta.
Who?
He's very politically conscious too. Greg, you talk about him all the time.
I'll talk about it.
You done? Y'all heard of Mondo?
What?
No, who is that?
It's Killer Mike.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, he sure did. He sure he sure did. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but Killer Mike came out of that Dungeon Crew also with Outkast, though.
Yeah, Dungeon Family. Yeah, Dungeon Family.
Okay.
Him, Sleepy.
Goody Mo B, Sleepy Brown.
Yeah, Sleepy Brown, Goody Mob.
Hey, and there's some other honorable mentions here too.
CeeLo Green.
Yeah, that's right, CeeLo, yeah.
Hey, you got Missy Elliott, you got Chance the Rapper. Y'all forgot about him.
Yeah.
You got Ludacris. What is it? Childish Gambino.
That's Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover, yeah.
Hey, T.I., Black Eyed Peas, and Will Smith.
Yeah. Yeah. Does LL have any Grammys?
Who?
It didn't bring him up.
Cool J, LL.
Armando, does LL Cool J have any Grammys? He's going to do his deep dive research real quick. But yeah, good point, man. Good point.
Yeah.
He should have plenty.
But listen, though, when we start talking about it, we can't forget our lady rappers also. Salt and Pepper, Eve. One of my personal favorites, believe it or not, one of my personal favorites that a lot of people have forgotten about. She was the first lady of Death Row, Lady of Rage.
Oh yeah.
People don't remember her. Lady of Rage was tough. I referenced stuff to my Afro Puffs.
Yeah. If they watched Steve Harvey, they saw her. She played on there for a number of years.
LL has 2.
And she was the one that played in in the Fridays too. She was the girl that played the girlfriend of Day Day in the Friday movie.
That's right. Yeah.
Lady of Rage. And she was a real MC. Her and Real Roxanne.
Oh, and listen, you can't forget MC Light.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You're right. Hey, and you know what?
You digging in the crates.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? She does a great job of MCing though on a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. I thought you meant DJing because she's DJing now too. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Hey, but here's something from a person that we've been able to see this guy develop into the businessman, and I'm going to say intellect that he is today. But we saw that evolution come around from the time he got rich to where he went broke to where now he's not rich, he's wealthy. And this guy just gave a quote the other day. They asked him, why hasn't he come out with any new music, new rap? And his response was this. His response was, new rap music, he believes, isn't the place of a 50-year-old man putting stuff out there for young people. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, that sounds like 3,000 to me.
Again, got rich, bought Mike Tyson's house, and
50
realized
Cent?
50 You got it.
Interesting.
You got it. Hey, you listen to the brother. He is real thought-provoking. And when
Man,
you talk
listen,
businessman,
I have tons of respect for 50 Cent
yeah,
because he slid in, made everything of his opportunity, got people on. Think about it. He got people on. He got Eminem on. Okay. He got the G Unit on. All them guys gave them a shot. They didn't maintain it. It's the same thing like with Nelly and the Lunatics. When you give your people an opportunity, all you can give them is a shot. It's up to them to make that shot work. And we see that time and time again. How many of us have mentored people and advised people and they go out there and they screw it up. They did close to what you told them to do. And see, if people don't understand that, this is like what's going on with Glorilla. Have y'all been following that?
Yeah, with our family members, yeah.
Yeah, with her family. Her sister telling her, give me $2,500, I'll shut up. But the girl took care of them since she been on. She say it's over with now.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right, Doc. But Greg, I saw a light go off when you realized it was 50 Cent. What came across your mind?
I mean, I'm thinking about 50, but I'm also thinking about it from the standpoint of, kind of what Doc is saying is that there have been other MCs or rappers that have tried to pull people up. I mean, the main ones, though, if you really and truly think about it, think about the number of MCs that have been touched by Dr. Dre. Think about the number of MCs and actors who've been touched by people like Ice Cube. T.I. has done a good job with trying to pull people up and different things like that. But here's the thing that I was thinking, though, Doc, when you said it, is, these guys that we're talking about, and Jay-Z also, these guys we're talking about, man, they work at an extreme level that most people won't be able to get to and touch. And so they make other people look as if they're moving in slow motion anyways. So these guys that they're pulling up aren't going to be able to keep up with what they're doing because these guys are next level. I mean, as much as people don't want to say it, I mean, look at what P. Diddy did, although he did it shystily. This guy had something about him that no one else could work at that level and at that pace to do and maintain what he did. And if he was not who he was, he wouldn't have been as successful as he was. So
General Doc, flip that coin over there for me. Because we're talking about those folk that have attempted and tried to pull everybody up. What about, and one name comes to me very quickly, what about the other side of the coin? What about those folk that tried that and wound up getting pulled down? And there's one.
Let's talk about what's the name? Coolio.
I got a better one for you.
Coolio is one. Who?
I got a better one for you.
Who?
I'm gonna just give you the song. Too Legit to Quit.
Hammer. Yeah. He's the poster child for that.
Yeah.
But,
y'all up on your artists.
Yeah. So, but look at Master P. Master P had both sides of that coin. He had some he pulled up, and some of them pulled him back down until he, look at his brothers.
But you listen to Snoop Dogg talk about Master P and the fact that he was on Death Row Records and he wasn't making anything, and his house and cars was in Suge Knight's name, and then Master P told him, hey man, pick out your house. He said he did one verse, I think it was, for Master P, and Master P said, let's drive through this neighborhood, pick out a house, one that you're going to put your name on, pick out cars that you're going to put in your name.
Yep. And Master P went to Suge and told him, let that man go.
Yeah.
Hey,
make sure you get your money. He's going to get his money.
So, Doc, in general, we talk about that entertainment side.
Yeah.
We talk about how people have built the bench and pulled people up. Let me ask you, what about on the political side?
I didn't mean to say it like that. I researched. I don't know if I ever told y'all about the story. I just grew up hearing the story. Of course, I was 2 years old when it happened, but and it's par for the course because I was having a conversation with somebody today on Facebook, and it was about Dr. King and how his message has been really co-opted and really watered down so much that it's not even relevant anymore in many aspects. The idea and the concept is, but not, the way that they tell the story about I have a dream, it doesn't even carry the same hubris that it did when it was originally said. But Dr. King came and visited Orlando in 1964. And I always remember this. Y'all know my cousin Tim Adams, because we always had him, my uncle, and my Uncle Charles and my Uncle Cornell. They always talk politics. And they would talk about how mad they were with the black people in Orlando because they didn't want Dr. King here. Now, he visited Mount Zion's church, Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church here in Orlando. He came one time, and the reception was so bad that Dr. King publicly said he will never come to Orlando again. And as a result, what we see is that political legacy of not stepping forward, not stepping up. And for all intents and purposes, that's what we now have inherited. You've inherited a dysfunctional political mindset and body, and it needs to be righted.
I don't think I'm gonna let you keep going with that one. Because I don't think that's political. I think that's religion. I don't think that was political at all. I think that a lot of the people that were, and I wasn't here. I could just only imagine that a lot of folks that had the pushback wasn't necessarily the politicians. It was more so the church folks that had the pushback on that one, and not wanting to be the one to follow somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because remember now, during that era, where was the political power really concentrated? The black church.
Yeah, that's a true statement. That's a true statement.
And so that was the only legitimate interest to the community to talk to her. And like you said, it's the religious people. It was the religious people primarily. Okay. At that time, there were no black elected officials in Orlando. None.
Okay. So is it still driven by the faith community? Is my question.
Not as much, but it's still interfered. They still are interfering as if they are still in charge.
Okay, we'll tell you what.
Church, then church.
We'll tell you what. That's going to tie into my monologue in a few minutes. But General, I know you had something to say about this Central Florida cold spot that we've had, and also, Doc, y'all familiar with the strawberry farm in Plant City, right?
Yeah.
You know that was wiped out during this cold spell.
Wow.
Really? So we're not going to have the festival?
I don't believe it's taking place. I saw on the news the owner of and I can't remember the name of the strawberry farm, but he said unfortunately, the second cold wave did just not. Oh no, was it? No, I'm sorry, man. You know what? It was wildflowers.
Oh, wildflowers.
Yeah. I'm glad I corrected that because I'm seeing the news break as we're talking. So I'll still go get some strawberries.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
great. What about Ponce? What's that? Ponce? What is the name of that?
No, Ponce Field. So for most folks who don't know, last Monday was Groundhog Day. And, it's the young people who don't even know what Groundhog's Day is and what it signifies and what it stands for and who Ponce Field is. But Ponce Field is a groundhog that they bring him out. And if he sees a shadow, then you have 6 weeks that winter will end soon end sooner. But if he doesn't see a shadow, then winter is going to, I think it's the other way around. If he sees a shadow, then winter you have 6 more weeks of winter. And if he does see a shadow, then whatever it is. Well, he saw a shadow, and so we're projected to have 6 weeks of continued cold. And if we've been judging by what's been taking place, that's pretty much true. Because as you were saying, brother Love, we had one cold snap, followed by another cold snap, and then we're going to have another one coming up even after we have these 80-degree weekdays that's coming up.
Well, I don't know about you and Doc, but how does y'all front yard? Well, your yard look. Period.
Oh, it's
Brian,
gone. Look like a hayfield.
Yeah.
Mine too, and both of my mango trees, and my spider, it's like that big tropical plant. It's called it got like a white egg that comes out on it, but it looks like a cactus, but it's huge. That's in my backyard. That died.
You didn't cover them up?
Huh?
You didn't cover them up?
Yeah, I covered them.
And they still okay.
It's still, we covered them, we watered everything, and it's still brown and it's flopped over. So the trees aren't dead, but it killed all the leaves, and we've been trying to.
Are we expecting any more cold spells anytime?
Yeah. Supposed to be another one coming through. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But listen, the cold spell I want to talk about, brother Love, Dr. Light, is the cold spell of the mayor election coming up in Apopka. That's the cold spell I want to talk about.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, you got 3 candidates for the mayor of the city of Apopka.
Hey, what happened to that guy, Anks? What happened to Anks?
He bailed out.
Okay, all right.
He withdrew.
He saw the writing on the wall.
So you have the incumbent, Mayor Brian Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
You also have I guess he's still a commissioner.
Nestor.
You got Nestor, and then you have Orange County District 2 Commissioner Christine Moore. So that's the lineup, and some other things have been rolling out or coming out as of late. And great, this reminds me of when we had one of the state attorneys, and she went throughout the entire race, and nobody asked her what was her position on the death penalty. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I absolutely remember that. But let's go back to these candidates in this Apopka mayor race. And I mean, listen, I normally don't talk on local politics because it really isn't as sexy as the other stuff. But with Apopka being the second largest municipality in Central Florida, only behind Orlando, it's always worth talking about that race because there's a lot of influence that comes with that race. Now, the thing that has caught my attention about the race is number one, Christine Moore has given up her seat, and much the same way that Brian Nelson did. I mean, listen, when opportunity arises, you do what you feel is in your when the stars align or whatever the case may be. But there was a lawsuit that was filed by Mayor Nelson against Christine Moore, alleging that she does not live in Apopka. That she lives in Apopka, but she hadn't been living in Apopka for the 365 days that's required. And initially, when people see this stuff, it's kind of like, oh, here we go again. But let me tell you, man, I read the complaint, and the allegations in that complaint are damning, if nothing else, because what it shows is that Christine Moore was living at a house in Apopka, but outside of the city limits. Because sometimes you can be in Apopka, but it's not in the city limits.
Yeah.
And she bought a house in July of 2025 in order to be in the city limits. But then the other thing she did was she put down her home address as an address to someone by the name of Sam Ruth. Now, who is Sam Ruth? Sam Ruth is a former Apopka commissioner who is now running for, I want to say, seat 1 in Apopka as well. And so her address was Sam Ruth's address that she put on some campaign information. But then her now home address is the address that she has been living in since July of 2025. And so if these things are true, and like I said, there hasn't been anything to show that they aren't, Christine Moore shouldn't even be in this race. As much as she wants to be, and I would love to see, and I would love to hear what, we probably won't get it from her, but I would love to hear how it is that you combat that. Why is it that you're using Sam Ruth's address that he's homestead in, that you're not homestead in? And how is it that you have an address that's been in Apopka in the city limits since July of 2019, since July 19th of 2025, when you know that you have to be in the city for 365 days.
And so, Greg, that is right now. There's a lot, as you mentioned, there's a lawsuit taking place with that, but that's going to have to be. I mean, because the election, March, the second week of March, or
Yeah,
third
I
week.
wonder, is it March 6th or is it March? It's something like that.
Yeah. So that's going to have to be expedited and heard soon, correct?
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Remember what happened over in the town of Eatonville. They had an election to take place, and then they made a determination that two of the votes were improper. Maybe it's three or four of the votes. I can't remember. But I think it was just two votes that were improper. They threw out those two votes, and the councilman that won was actually removed from office, and the person that ran against him was put into office. And so we've seen those things. It doesn't happen often, but we've seen those things. We've also seen that just recently, Regina Hill filed a lawsuit against Shan Rose, who is now the returning commissioner in Orlando, for similar types of things. We've always heard about these people who have these issues with residency, but not to the extent that I've seen now. I mean, think about Bruce Antone when he was running, and that issue came up. But I think that Representative Antone, was it Antone or was it somebody else? I can't remember. But these things are always coming up, but they never get this far down the road because people are just like, you know what? Let me just back out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're right. You have that point, but then take into consideration Commissioner Anderson and the fact that this came up when she was running for office, and she established that she resided within the city. And now, fast forward, you see that she, has a suit 2 years later for her to reestablish that she has residency, and the city clerk. If you look at the charter, the city clerk is the one who clearly reviews and establishes whether or not a person has residency. So I don't, this stuff keeps coming up, man. What is it? Is it more or less a delaying factor? Is it, well, we know it's politics, but it's, man, I tell you, it just seems like it's, on one hand, particularly with Commissioner Anderson, it appears to be frivolous.
I mean, well, in her case, it appears to be frivolous. In Commissioner Anderson's case, in the case of Christine Moore, I from what I've seen, it appears to have some validity to it. Like I said, I mean, I would love to hear, the other side's take of it, because I've read the complaint, I've looked at it, with very discerning eyes, and to make a determination of what it was. But what's interesting, Brother Love, is sometimes people get into races purposefully knowing that they're not going to be successful so that they can be spoiler for somebody else. Now, why do I say that? I say that because there is another person in the race who has kind of stayed above the fray of everything that's going on. So Brian Nelson has filed a lawsuit against Christine Moore because it's been determined that she was not a resident or has not been a resident of the city of Apopka for the requisite period of time. Christine Moore is going back and forth with Brian Nelson, talking about all this other stuff. But then you have this other person, Nick Nestor, who is the commissioner here in Apopka, who's kind of just above the fray. And everybody's looking at him like, hey, this guy, he's not getting involved in all of this and all of this other stuff. But it came out just recently, Brother Love, that it appears that Nick Nestor behind the scenes has been orchestrating what Brian Nelson is accusing Christine Moore of. He orchestrated that against Nadia Anderson. Yeah. And he was a part of this email string and this group of individuals who are trying to who are attacking the first African American female to ever serve as commissioner in the city of Apopka, with these behind the scenes conversations. And my understanding is that the emails, that those things are very real, and that they're accessible. And if that is the case, then Nick Nestor is not above the fray. He's actually in the midst and causing this turmoil.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, just that conspiracy piece of being behind the scene, pushing all the different buttons. But then just recently, Greg, and I don't know if you saw this, but and I guess it is what it is at this moment. But nobody even knew that there was an ethics complaint filed against him, allegedly because of a vote that he cast that he should have recused himself. That he subsequently made $60,000 off of a real estate deal.
Yeah, people don't remember that. People don't mention that. And listen, let me say this, and Doc Polite knows this just as well as I do. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being in the fray. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being in the fray. Just don't be the person running for office when you get into the fray.
Yeah, you're
Let,
right.
let people that can get in there and that can tangle and tussle and can do whatever. But if you're somebody running for office, you don't want to be a part of. And listen, if it's not true, Commissioner Nestor, more than happy to hear your side of it. Christine Moore, Commissioner Moore, more than happy to hear your side of it. Because if it's not true, let people know. But from all accounts of what I've seen, and especially at the last APOPCA council meeting, a commission meeting, where this information was discussed and I think presented. I mean, I think that you owe people more than just ignoring the concerns that people have.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
You know what bothers me about about stuff about this, like this, is that the people who are doing it, they know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do it? Why do it for what purpose? It show, number one, if you're doing it illegally, it's showing that your consideration is not the people you say you want to represent, but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you know you don't live in an area, why are you running to represent those people in the area? That tells me more about you than anything else. And I can't understand why we continue to have these people who are unethical, amoral in some instances, who constantly get up there, tell lies. They know they lie through their face, through their teeth, and they continue to get up there and tell you that. It's like.
But Doc, you hit it right on the head. But to bring it full circle, and this is why I brought up the state attorney piece, Greg, originally, because we allowed the election to go full circle and never once asked about a person's position on this issue or that issue. So now the election is taking place in March. The things that we're having a conversation about now, they need to be addressed.
Yeah.
And so we don't need to wait till an election is done and over with.
Right.
Say, what was your position on? Did you make any money on a vote that you should have recused yourself from? Were you behind all of these the actions and filing lawsuits and pushing all the levers? Is this you? Is this your personality?
Yeah. Just to position yourself, like Doc was saying, to put yourself in the position, to have a position, and I don't think that's the right way to go about it. But here's the other thing that I'm gonna tell you. The other thing that's kind of interesting to me, Brother Love, being here in a pop, and Doc Polite, you don't necessarily have this issue because you're over in Lake County. I haven't seen, unless I'm missing something, I haven't seen any of the candidates come to any of the African American churches.
And I don't.
Let me ask you this.
I know what you're going to say, Doc. Go ahead. Have they invited him?
No.
What's that?
No. Listen. Hey, listen. When you're a candidate, you don't get invited.
You got to go, right?
Trust me. When you run for office, you don't get invited. You don't wait for the invite.
You go. You're right.
What's the win in it for him?
Listen, I was about to say that, and the reason why I'm saying that is because African Americans in the city of Apopka, if you don't see elected officials come to your area, come to your church, come to your neighborhood, understand there's a reason that they're not coming. They know that you're either not going to come to the polls to vote, or that you don't take your voice seriously, so they don't have to listen to you. And the votes that they get, they're going to go and talk to the people that they feel are going to vote for them, no matter what. And so if you haven't seen them, listen. I've had a couple come to my house. Not the mayor's race, but other races that actually come to my house. But if you haven't seen them in your neighborhood or in places that you frequent, you need to ask yourself the question of, how involved am I in this political process?
Yeah. Greg, two things to that point. One, you used to always say something about your vote and whether or not politicians have a right to your. What was that you used to always say about your vote?
Yeah, my right to vote is not someone's right to my vote.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then the second thing, Greg, people got these, you got to run on your track record. What have you done that we can go back and look at? And I mean, I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there, man. We see the advocacy of Mayor Nelson. We see his track record. We see what he's done. And so now you got a sitting city commissioner. I like to know, what has he done? And then you have Commissioner Moore. put your record out there and let people see what it is. Let's have that conversation.
But let me tell you one thing I do know about Christine Moore, and I know, or I knew Christine rather well because during my campaign for State House, she actually helped me with some messaging, and even the late Commissioner Fred Brummer, State
Yeah.
Representative Fred Brummer, told me that Christine Moore is probably one of the best at messaging that he's ever seen, and she is very good with messaging. Um, and when she was running for Orange County Commissioner, I actually supported Christine Moore.
Hmm.
Um, my breakdown with Christine Moore was something that I saw firsthand that absolutely shocked me. I actually sat on the Board of Zoning Adjustments for Orange County. And so I had an open line of communication with Christine Moore, but also at that time, I was also the general counsel for a community redevelopment agency. And that community redevelopment agency at that time was doing some things that was of some concern. And the District 2 representative was someone that was not coming to meetings purposefully in my mind because they didn't want certain votes to go forward. And these things were proven to be factual. I personally called Christine Moore and I said, hey, listen, this is what's going on with the representative in your area. Have you spoken to him to let him know what what your thoughts are in this regard and different things like that? And Christine Moore, when I went to sit down and talk to her personally, was more interested in talking to me about things that were taking in place in Wakaba Springs than addressing issues in this particular area where I believe there were some concerns with misuse of government dollars. I'm just going to say it like it is. And she completely ignored that to talk to me about, yards and yard signs or what was this like the best yard of the thing. And that at that point, it was like, this person isn't listening to a concern that's taking place where the comptroller actually came in and found that there were some irregularities that I was trying to, make her aware of ahead of time. There were some other audits that were done that found some irregularities. But that's where, for me, and that, shortly after that, I actually resigned from being on the Board of Zoning Adjustments. People don't know why, but that was the reason why. I just didn't think that she really and truly was listening to and paying attention to anything other than what she wanted to focus on and pay attention to. And that's fine. Listen, that's fine. You have your agendas and things like that. But when someone is coming to you with a true concern that pans out as being true, and you
Mhm.
could have done something before it happened, that's where I just said, you know what, I can't continue to be behind this person.
Yeah, yeah, and I understand it. But Greg, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and tell the other side of the story because you were involved in this aspect of it before Mayor Nelson became Mayor Nelson when he was an Orange County Commissioner. Unfortunately, man, there were several murders in the
Mm,
community, and Mayor Nelson at the time, Orange County Commissioner, called us up and said, "Hey, man, we got to do something about this." And you, myself, Dr. Randy Nelson, and he was over the Bethune Center for Social
yeah,
Justice.
social justice. That's right. Yeah.
Greg, how many months did we commence this community task force?
Man, at least 4 or 5 months, if not more than that. That was the task force, but then there was some other behind the scenes preparing things like that took longer than that, though.
And something that evolved out of that, Greg, while we were charged to look at how we could reduce the violence, what came out of that with community participation and Mayor Nelson being right there was not just dealing with juvenile delinquency. It dealt with community redevelopment. It dealt with economic development. It dealt with job training.
Yeah.
And Representative Bankston at the time was involved, and he was not even an elected official at the time.
Yeah.
And you know what? And if you stand now, when was the last time you had a juvenile murder over there?
I don't know, but I don't. I
That's
can
it.
answer that question.
See? And that's exactly the point. Because I remember when this was ongoing,
Yeah.
and it was like at least once every month, if not every other month. This was a series for a couple of years this went on. And Mayor Nelson did, in fact, address those issues and wanted to put things in place and put some things in place to help, and especially in areas of a populace that don't look like him. Now, I'm not saying that that's
Doc,
hard.
let me tell you how well that task force that was put together to look at violence, how well and diverse and bringing subject matter experts to the table. Attorney Greg Jackson and submitted the first white paper when there was the recommendation from the then Speaker of the House to eliminate CRAs statewide because of the
Right. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
And so more came of this than just looking at public safety,
Exactly.
housing, community, and Greg, those white papers. Greg, who was Speaker Cochran was the speaker at the time. I don't remember who the Senate president was.
I remember the us walking out and putting flyers out to get people out in the community to come out and hear the developers that were willing to invest in South Apopka and Apopka.
Yes.
And only 13 people showed up. Okay. And we walked the streets. I videotaped y'all. And we talked about
that. Greg, you remember Doc?
Yeah. I forgot all about that.
And we talked about the need to change. We spoke to some young men and asked them, what do we need to give y'all to change the community?
Yeah.
And so
on top of that,
because
once that white paper was developed and it was submitted to the House and the Senate, Attorney Jackson and I hosted a CRA training at the Catfish House, and to our surprise, you had CRAs come from Brevard County, Seminole County, Orange County. Greg, there was some other representatives from CRAs that came, and it literally overwhelmed us for this meeting that took place. And again, Mayor Nelson was
Listen. What people need to understand and gather from this conversation, which these are conversations we normally have amongst ourselves. People are invited now to hear this conversation, but I mean, Dr. Polite, Brother Love, myself, Dr. Randy B. Nelson, we've been on the ground for a long time, and we're not on the ground carrying signs and all. We're on the ground looking at how do we bring solutions and how do we address certain things in the community. So when I sit here,
real solutions.
And so I want people to understand. Yeah, I want people to understand when I sit here and I say that there's a politician that is doing something that is untoward that I don't think is right. I'm not saying this in the vacuum. I'm saying this because I've been on the ground for a minute. I've been on the ground as someone that has ran for office and had to knock on people's doors. And listen, I remember when Doc couldn't even walk, he had to drive alongside me some of those times and get out there, man. And then Brother Love putting all of these meetings together and the resources. So people need to understand that when we're sitting here talking, we're not like some of these people that you hear and you see on social media that are just throwing jabs just for the sake of throwing jabs. We're throwing jabs because we've actually offered solutions. We've actually offered to come to the table. We've actually offered to bring people to the table. We've actually been in various communities and trying to figure out how do we effectuate positive change in the community. So when we're talking like this isn't like like some of these guys, some of these clowns. Remember when I talked about the jackass talking? This ain't that. You understand what I'm saying? These are people who we actually put our own money and resources into things. We're not going out begging other people for money to do stuff that does not get accomplished. You understand what I'm saying? So I want people to understand that this is a real conversation and it's a substantive conversation because it's coming from people, whether you want to accept it or believe it or not, are on the ground that's really out here putting in this work. And whether it's whether it's here, whether it's when Brother Love is gone, y'all trust me, he's gone into places that most of us I can't even touch. But he comes back and he brings information where we can make things happen. When Doc Polite is quiet doing his thing, he's doing whatever it is Doc Polite does. He's doing that, and he's coming back and we put some stuff together. You know what I'm saying?
That can go in community holes and talk to people who are living the life. You understand? So I understand it from that perspective, and that's why I always advocate. Going to talk to politicians is all right, but go talk to the people that actually know and are experiencing and being impacted by the policies and the conduct that is being legislated on that community.
You're right. That's being impacted by the decisions that bureaucrats making. You're right.
How the hell I'm gonna go to job training? I can't read.
You're right. Hey,
You get what I'm saying?
Just we have 10 minutes left, and there's a couple of agendas. Everybody want to hear what we got to say about the Super Bowl, but here's the monologue that I want your response from. And Doc, you said it best when you talk about solutions. When Black elected Democrats ostracize other Black elected officials who aren't Democrats, are they putting the interest of the community first? Is a good question. Trading with the messy work of intra-community debates for brittle exclusion of loyalty that punishes political diversity. Black leaders who break with the party routinely report ridicule and marginalization. And studies show partisan on the left often hold stronger negative social judgments of Republicans. So the whole point is this, and Doc, you and I, we had this conversation before the show. We talk about having Black caucus, and then you have individuals that are Black, but they're not Democrats. The caucus, Greg, and you help me, the caucus is supposed to be nonpartisan, right?
It is.
So is it benefit the community when the Black caucus ostracize other Black elected officials?
No, it's like, you know what it's like? Getting in a car that only turn left.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're getting in a car that only turns left.
So my point is this.
Left-hand turn patterns, traffic patterns.
So my point is this. It's going to take real leadership for us to rise above. And then with that segue, Greg, Doc, I want to segue directly into what was your thoughts and feelings about the Super Bowl? I got it from both directions.
I don't want to talk about the game. I mean, the game was,
I guess I should say halftime. I guess I should say that halftime show.
Listen, it didn't become a game until the fourth quarter. But listen, I'm gonna tell you this: I was not looking forward to the Super Bowl halftime show. I just wasn't, and I think it was more so because of all of the things I heard about Bad Bunny without knowing who he was, and all of the things I was gonna expect. Somebody, he's gonna come out with a dress. He's this. He's gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you, man. From my perspective, that was probably one of the most. I don't want to say entertaining because it went beyond just being entertaining. This guy touched on so many things about his heritage and his culture, which is a part of the U.S. But as much as people don't want to accept that, or some people, that want to accept that. And I mean, I thought that he did. I didn't understand nothing he was saying, but I thought it was a great show. The symbolisms and the different things like that, without even understanding the word that he was saying, I still was able to feel, a part of the message that he did. And listen, I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, and I'm not going to go and buy any of his records and none of that stuff right now. But the show in and of itself was not what I was expecting, and I was pleasantly surprised that he did such a show that celebrated his history and his culture in the way that it did. He wasn't throwing jabs at anybody. He wasn't doing diss songs and all this other stuff, which is cool. I mean, that's kind of what we played a dozen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he was highlighting the things that goes on with his culture, and he put it out there in one of the biggest stages in the world.
Doc, thank you, Doc. Thank you, General. Doc, what's your thoughts real quick?
I didn't like it. And I didn't like it because to me, it wasn't entertainment. It was political speech. And honestly, it's like I explained to you. If I pay, how much those tickets were going for? $5,000 and up?
At least.
Yeah. Okay. If I pay $5,000 to see the Super Bowl, I don't want to attend a political rally in the middle of it. Okay. I want to be entertained from start to finish. And we've got to there is a time and place for grievance. And we're taking these moments and thinking that they're movements, and they're not. It's a moment. Last year we had everybody, Kendrick told them, he showed them, he told them this, he told them that. What changed? What changed?
It was a moment. Right.
It was a moment. Moments don't create change. Movements do.
Okay, Doc, got it. And let me just read. I'm gonna give a quick. I didn't understand a word he was saying. I'm unfamiliar with Bad Bunny, and to tell you the truth, I had a preconception about him based on what I was seeing, like what you were saying, Greg, with the dress and all that kind of stuff. But here's one thing that I was most envious about, and that was, like as you mentioned, Greg, it gave a history lesson. And I was thinking about Snoop, when Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, when Usher, and all of those did the Super Bowl. The one thing I was most envious about, man, is I saw when he started talking about Venezuela, Puerto Rico, all the Latin countries
coming together.
And that's what I was most envious about.
So let me tell you this now, because Doc, listen, man, you way off base tonight, bro. You way off base. Every single sports event and every single sports league that we have is political. We can go back to Lou Alcindor. We can go back to James Brown. We can go back to Muhammad Ali. We can go back to Kaepernick. We can go back to any sport that you want. Hold on. You gotta wait now. Every single sports event, to some extent, has some political speech to it. And that's what makes this thing so great, because what other arena would he have to give that type of speech? He's never going to be on a stage. Now, as many arenas as he sells out, he can sell out a 60,000 person arena. He's never going to be in front of 50 million people to give the message that he gave. For me to understand and appreciate. Listen, for me to understand and appreciate what is going on in that country, that's important to him. Think about every single. I mean, listen. When Colin Kaepernick did it, we applauded him for speaking out on someone else's stage, on the NFL stage. When Lou Alcindor did it, when he changed his name, when Muhammad Ali did it, sports has always been political. That is the place to be political. Think about the Olympics. Think about the Olympics when you had Carlos Smith and the other guy that held up the black fist. It's always political.
I get that. But those many of the things that you're talking about, sports was not a sporting event was not central where they held that.
Okay,
I bet it was. Let's go back to the Roman times. Let's go back to Roman times. Those were not just sporting events. Those were the things to determine who had political power in those days. The sports, the Olympics in and of itself, but what it came about, everything is all been political. It's all been political.
I'm not knocking this because of who Bad Bunny is and what he did. What I'm saying is that we've gotten away from the entertainment aspect of the Super Bowl, because why did we start having Super Bowl halftime shows? Why?
It was entertainment. It was for entertainment.
No. It was more than that.
But I'll tell you what, we got 2 minutes. We down to 2 minutes.
Okay, let me tell you in these 2 minutes. These are 2 minutes. We started having the Super Bowl show because the Wayans brothers, when they had their show, they drew so many people from the Super Bowl to their
people watch the Super Bowl for entertainment, Doc. Hey, I'm gonna leave it at this. The thing again that I was most envious about was the fact that it brought Latino community around the world together. When are we gonna do that? That's what I'm gonna leave you with. Greg, one quick, if you would give me 1 minute, Greg. The alternative to halftime. You had the Super Bowl, then you had
Turning Point. Yeah, Turning Point had their alternative Super Bowl party, which was political. Believe it or not, it was political, because that's what it's about. What other stage are you going to have to do these things? And a lot of people were knocking it. And I thought I heard somebody say that there were only 13,000 people who watched it. They actually had 6 million people to tune in to listen to the alternative to that. And listen, if y'all don't think that it's political, think about all of the politicians who said that they weren't going to watch because it is political. That's what it is. It is what it is, man.
Hey, tell you what, to the both of y'all, because man, y'all wait till we get to the end of the show to start lighting it up. But I tell you what,
that's because Doc wanted to talk about putting the spider webs in his foot.
hey, my friends, love you too, brothers. Y'all don't have to go home,
but you got to get out of here.
Hey, we'll see you next week on Let's Talk Nation. Please join us.